and how they will leave the workforce.
Yes, so financial representative Bridget Herman is here to tell us how families can actually navigate the difficult conversations that come when deciding when to retire. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for being with us today. So, with the pandemic, a lot of folks are reevaluating their future plans. Tell us about, what the trend you're seeing when it comes to retirement and why it's so important to have discussions with your family.
New numbers are showing that nearly 55% of people are more concerned with their retirement today than they were a year ago. And a lot of those considerations are often financial, but how it will impact your family is also important to consider. At Securian Financial, we're here for families and understand the importance of open and honest conversation.
Well, what advice do you tell, families, people? I mean, is this a good time to consider maybe retiring early, or is it best to wait and see until things really start to completely settle down?
If you want to start with thinking with three things, the first would be retirement goals. In all likelihood, the pandemic has impacted your life in some way. So now's a great time to revisit those goals. Do you plan to work? Where do you want to live? Will you volunteer in some aspect? And then once you have those questions answered, you want to loop in your family. Second thing is going to be retirement income. Almost 27% of people have stopped funding their retirement altogether since the pandemic hit. So you want to not only be thinking about maybe your daily, weekly, monthly expenses, but what yearly expenses do you have? If in the past you've been able to help support your adult children, it may be that you need your adult children to help support you at this point.
That's right.
Right? Every parent out there is thinking the same thing right now. And then finally, healthcare and long-term care is usually the biggest expense. If you want a family member to maybe care for you, or you have a preferred nursing facility that you'd like to go to, make sure you're planning for that financially and communicating it to your kids.
Wow. I mean, a lot to think about. I mean, even for, I guess, the younger generation, for kids, for people working, you've got to think ahead. You don't just
What's the average age these
right?
days that people are retiring?
We're seeing different ages, whether it's still early retirement in your 50s or people working later into their 70s. So really, it depends on your unique situation.
Yeah, some people really enjoy working. They just want to work.
We do. We have a personality or retirement kind of finder on Securian.com to help navigate some of those questions as to when should I be retiring?
Yeah. All right.
All right. And like you just mentioned, Securian.com is the website. And what other information can we go? And what's the best way to reach you besides the website? Is that the way to go? Financial or Securian.com?
All of contact information is on there. And I would just 2 quick tips. Keep your emotions in check as you're having these conversations. Look at the resources available on Securian.com, and then be honest with yourself and your family. Having these hard conversations now will hopefully prevent hurt feelings in the future.
Okay, very good. Thank you so much.
Bridget, thank you again for sharing all that helpful advice. All right.
I have right. Okay, since you're kind of like part of my TV family.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you are my TV family.
Yes.
You need to take care of me when I retire.
Will do.
Talk to Karina, okay?